Well, good morning, everyone. I just want to say welcome back, AIEA members and community, to the 2022-2023 academic year. I hope you each had a fun summer and with as much relaxation as you can possibly get. I know during the summertime, there's a few of us and most of us that still continue to work throughout the summer, whether it's volunteer work or if you're on um, a fiscal year contract, but I hope that you had a great summer, didn't get too hot. I know it's been truly a blessing to receive the rains these past few weeks in my area. Hopefully you've gotten some rains in your area as well. It's even more so a joyous moment to see the students, teachers, and staff back in school. And so I would just like to introduce myself for those who may not know who I am. Nawa Kwahat Hatso Toya Goiku Masip Chawi aimed Kimberly Dankapigay Khan. My name is Kimberly Dankapigay. I am of the Kiowa, Caddo, and Pawnee Nations, originally from Oklahoma. I currently reside in Tucson, Arizona, and I work with the Amphitheater Public School District as the Native American Education Coordinator, and I currently sit as the AIEA President. And so if you'll just bear with me for just a moment, I would like to provide a land acknowledgement statement, and I appreciate your patience. Beneath the contemporary surface of any site in the United States, there are histories of belonging that have been erased, overlooked, contested, and forgotten, all ways to support ideas like manifest destiny, which justifies the conquest of native lands. Between 1776 and 1887, the United States seized over 1.5 billion acres from America's indigenous people by treaty and executive order. There are currently 574 sovereign tribal nations, variously called tribes, nations, bands, pueblos, communities, and native villages, that have a formal nation-to-nation relationship with the U.S. government. There are 334 federally and state-recognized American Indian reservations in 2010. These 574 tribal nations are located across 35 states and within the geographic borders of the United States. Even within the U.S. borders, each tribal nation exercises its own sovereignty. Each of the 574 tribal governments is legally defined as a federally recognized tribal nation. Every community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world who have contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy to making the history that led to this moment in time. Some were brought here against their will. Some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life, and some have lived on this land for more generations than can be counted. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. We begin this effort to acknowledge what has been buried by honoring the truth. Today, we acknowledge the ancestral lands of the Acoma Otham and the Peeposh people, upon which our AIEA headquarters stands. I also acknowledge the homelands of the Tahana Otham and the Waimea people, Pasquayaki people, upon which I currently am. We pay respects to their elders, past and present. Please take a moment to consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that brings us together here today. And please join us in uncovering such truths at any and all public events. So I would just want to say again, thank you for allowing us to read this land acknowledgement statement. We always try and do this at all of our public events that we hold for the Arizona Indian Education Association. We feel it is very important that we get this statement out to help educate those about your tribal homelands, wherever your event is being held. And as mentioned, we also encourage you to do so at every opportunity you can get. So with that, we will go into our introductions. And I do not see any of my colleagues, executive officers on the call with us today, but hopefully they'll be joining us soon. And we can start. I'll just go down the list. So if you could just unmute yourself and introduce yourself, it would be greatly appreciated. So we'll start with Alex.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alex Benavides. I work at the University of Arizona Southwest Environmental Health Sciences Center, and I lead the Students Journey program, which creates transfer pathways for tribal college students seeking to transfer to universities. So we're just happy to be here today, learn more about the updates, and we're actually been promoting the scholarship that recently got extended. So hoping that some of our students can take advantage of that scholarship provided by you guys. So thank you for having us.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. It's always great to have you joining us. And thank you for promoting our scholarship. We'll get to that later on in the agenda as well for the extension dates. Next on the call is Brooke.
Sorry, you cut out a little bit, Kimberly. Did you say my name? I heard the at the end.
I did. Sorry, I apologize.
Okay.
Our
No, that's
internet's
fine.
been kind of crazy here, so I apologize.
That's okay. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Hi, my name is Brooke Curley here. I am coming to you from Arizona Department of Education, specifically the Office of Indian Education. I am the Education Program Specialist, and I'm really excited to be here with you all today. Thank you, Kimberly.
Awesome. Thank you, Brooke. Always great to see you. Next, we have the Kokopah Education Department. They may be in a meeting, or I may have broken up, but I did call on the Kokopah Education Department. If you're able to introduce yourself, it would be appreciated. Okay, we'll come back to them. Next, we have Jamie.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jamie Deschny. I am the Native and Indigenous Student Recruiter for the PEAK program, which stands for the Preparing Educators for Indian Communities with ASU's Mary Lou Fulton's Teachers College.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. It's always good to have you joining us. Next, we have Katie.
Couldn't find my unmute button. Good morning, everybody. I am Katie Parker. I am with the White River Unified School District. I take care of the federal funds, and I have been actually a member of AIEA since, oh gosh, the 90s. So I've been here for a while, off and on. So good to be here.
Yes, Katie has been a one of the strongholds for AIEA for many, many years, and so we greatly appreciate you being with us and hanging with us this long, and always appreciate you being here. Next on the list, we have Leora.
Hi, yes, it is Leora. Nice to meet you or see everybody here. My name is Leora Smith. I'm one of the new advisors here with the American Indian Institute at Mesa Community College. And as I'm onboarding, I'm getting all this new information and getting more familiar with all these wonderful entities that I would be, really appreciative to partner with. And so it's just a pleasure to be here and to gain more knowledge of what's going on in the background. So it's nice to see everybody.
That's wonderful. Well, welcome to AIEA. We're so happy you're joining us, and we always have an open invitation to welcome you back. Thank you. Next, we have Melissa.
Hi, my name is Melissa. I'm actually a school counselor in the Phoenix Union District, specifically at Maryville High School and their Gifted and Talented Academy. I just joined AIEA, but I'm Navajo. I come from Northern Arizona. I actually grew up close to White River. And yeah, I'm trying to get our Native American Youth Council up and running. As the only Indigenous person on our staff, a lot of our kids come to me. And so I'm just trying to figure out ways to to better support them beyond just my own experiences.
Well, welcome, Melissa. And again, if you need any assistance as far as resources or anything that AIEA can do to assist you with that, please feel free to always reach out to us. That's what we're here for. And of course, we always provide updates and resources available at all of our meetings. So I'm so happy to hear that you joined us. Thank you. Next, we have Melanie.
Lahaya, everybody. My name is Melanie Mariano. I am Cowlitz Coast Salish from Washington State originally, but I work here at the Phoenix Indian Center. I am the Youth Development Program Manager, and I also see our Language and Culture Department here. So it's wonderful to meet everybody. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Continue to be a part of AIEA. We've had representatives from the Phoenix Indian Center join us before, so it's always wonderful to have you be a part of the meetings. So again, just welcome everybody. Again, thank you all for being with us. As far as I can tell, and Katie, if you don't mind helping me out, I think we only have 3 members that are a part of the meeting today. Is that what you count?
Yes.
Okay, so that unfortunately, that does mean that we cannot conduct an official meeting, but as I mentioned, we can definitely do an informational meeting because there are a lot of resources and updates that do need to be shared out, and I don't want to put it off any more than we have to. And so again, this will just be an informal meeting, and we will move forward and just sharing out the resources. So thank you, Katie, for confirming that. I just wanted to make sure. All right. So moving on the agenda, we do have the approval of the minutes. Again, this is just to let you know that we will not take a vote on approving those. These will have to wait until our next meeting in September. And just let you know, our next meeting will be moved up a week next month because a lot of our members will be attending the National Johnson O'Malley Conference, which is usually a third Friday. And everybody will be preparing for that the following week. So our next meeting will be on September 9th. So please mark your calendars for the next month's meeting will be held a week earlier for that. I did provide the minutes for the February 18th. I will send those out in a follow-up email, and I should be able to have the remaining minutes for April 15th, as well as the special meeting for June 24th. Just a FYI, on the June 24th special meeting that was split up, we had to we had to recess, and then we reconvened again on June 26th, but the original meeting date was for June 24th, and that was a special meeting. So I will be getting those minutes out and a follow-up email to the membership and by those of you who are on our email list. Again, if there's any questions, I do request that you review those before our September meeting so we don't take too much time going through that during the actual meeting time. Any questions on that? Okay, so moving on, we do have the president's report. So I will quickly go through just a few updates that I have for our membership here. If you'll just bear with me another few more minutes and let me get through this. The AIEA continues to strive in developing educational strategies and activities for American Indian students to academically succeed. The executive board leadership underwent a few transitional changes over the past few months, but we've continued to work diligently to provide continued resources and moving forward. Due to the safety concerns of wildfire outbreaks and the rising number of virus cases in our state, the Protecting Our Land Summer Youth Camp was canceled. Instead, the POL committee is currently planning for the upcoming winter camp that will focus on using cultural knowledge to protect our lands and environment. Our theme for the camp this year for the winter is braiding the elements of life. And we look forward to bringing back mentors, presenters, and elders to share their wisdom and with our AIEA youth. The other event we had was our educational webinar series, which was held in the spring, excuse me, which focused on the scholarship process, and it led up to the eventual release of our AIEA student scholarship. We were honored to have Dr. Amanda Jeremiah provide the presentations to the students, parents, and community members that attended the webinars. The scholarship committee has extended the deadline for the 2022-2023 AIEA student scholarship application. The extended deadline will be August 26th. So please share the information with your students and those who may be interested. It's open to our middle school students starting in 7th grade, 7th and 8th grade students. That is one scholarship that we have available. It's open to our high school students and college and graduate students. So if you know of anybody that may be interested, please share the application with them. We'll get to that later in the agenda in today's meeting. There are also a few reminders and resources that are beneficial for our native educators and our communities. And I am just going to drop our information in the chat for you. These are links for our email, our website. We do have a YouTube channel. We encourage you to allow your students to review those webinar sessions. They are uploaded to the YouTube channel in regard to the scholarship, as well as our social media page, our Facebook page, where we do provide any updates in relation to AIEA, as well as other Native events and activities that are occurring within our area. Again, our general meetings are held every third Friday until further notice or unless otherwise listed. And as I mentioned, for next month, we will meet a week earlier on the second Friday of September 9th. The Zoom link, the meeting ID, password, everything remains the same. So if you have the link for this meeting, it should remain the same for the following meetings to come. So as I mentioned, we do have some upcoming events. This is our POL Winter Youth Camp, again, which is our theme, Braiding the Elements of Life. We are looking at holding that in person. The committee has met and we will hopefully get a location down, but please mark your calendars for December 16th through the 19th, and then we'll talk about more of that. Let's see, I do, I have it on the agenda. So I'll talk more about that in detail once we come to that point. As far as any other announcements, I do want to extend a big congratulations to the new Deputy Associate Superintendent. I believe that's the correct title. Brooke, you can correct me if I misspoke, but she's with the AD Office of Indian Education. I want to send a congratulations to our very own AIEA member, Linan Yazi, who was selected to serve as the Deputy Associate Superintendent with the Office of Indian Education at the State Department. It's been an honor to work alongside her the past few years with AIEA, and we know she'll continue to do the amazing work that OIE has already had in place and continuing to serve our Native American students, families, and communities. And so we're very excited and again, wish her a big congratulations. I did want to talk about a few of the funding grants that we receive a lot of our programs, which is our Johnson O'Malley and Title VI funding. As far as our Johnson O'Malley, I did want to mention, and just as a reminder for those who may not have heard, we do have an Arizona Johnson O'Malley quarterly virtual forum. This forum began in January. It's hosted and facilitated by the National Johnson O'Malley Association Region 1 representative, which I am honored to serve. Topics of discussion have included the student count process, training needs, and shared ideas for more effective management of JOM. The Bureau of Indian Education representatives has also joined us during the forums to answer many of the questions from the contractors. Although the forum was geared toward JOM contractors, all stakeholders in Indian education are welcome to attend. For those who received the JOM funds, we just ask that you would please share with your parent committee members and let me know if you have any topics you'd like to see addressed. The next virtual forum will be held on Thursday, October 27th. Again, this is held by Zoom and it is held in the morning time from 9 a.m. until noon. We do send out notices to those who are on our email list. I will look for that. Unfortunately, I don't have it right here, which I should have had it here, but we do have a contact form that you can complete and fill out. That way you can get on our email list and you will start receiving those updates for all the upcoming forums that will be taking place. Again, it's a quarterly forum that is held for our region for the state of Arizona. In addition, we do have the National Johnson O'Malley Annual Conference coming up. And let me put that link in the chat for you guys here. This will be held in Las Vegas, Nevada on September 19th through the 21st. And as of last Friday, the registration has closed. The last conference that was held in last year, we had, I want to say around 250. I don't think we even hit 300. This year we have more, I want to say more, if not doubled, we nearly tripled, but we do have 675 people who are registered for this conference. So the registration has been closed as of Friday. In addition, the Flamingo Las Vegas Hotel, who is hosting the conference, has sold out of the group rate rooms, which were at $129 a night. The hotel still has rooms available, but they will not be available for the group rate. So if you access the online reservations link and just select the rooms at the best price, those will be available to you. And so we're very excited that we have a wide or a lot of people that are coming. Again, safety protocols will be in place, but we are excited and looking forward to hosting that for the National Johnson O'Malley Association. With that, they also put out a JOM Student Higher Education Scholarship. Let me put this in the chat so you can have this and share out to your students. The National Johnson O'Malley Association is offering 4 scholarship opportunities for high school seniors graduating during the 2021 and 2022 school year. Scholarship recipients will be announced on September 21st at the annual conference banquet. So we do encourage you to please let your students know this is due on September 1st. And the scholarship application is a fillable form, or it's a form that they can fill out. It's fairly simple. I believe it's a 1-page form, but we do encourage you to get those applications in as soon as possible. So please, again, share out with your students who have graduated, your high school seniors. There are actually 4 scholarships that will be given out, as I mentioned. They are each at $1,000, so a total of $4,000 with $1,000 going to each recipient for that. So last year we didn't have anybody from the Southwest region that applied. So I know we have some amazing students out there, so please help spread the word and get this out to the students, high school students that do qualify for this application scholarship. Next, I wanted to mention, just as I mentioned, our Title VI program for those who receive Title VI funds. The EASY annual performance reports for school year 2020 and 2021, in addition to school years 2021 and 2022, are coming soon. The Office of Indian Education's EASY annual performance reports will be available consecutively through the OMB Max survey platform this fall. This is a result of the 12-month no extension grant that was granted to the school fiscal years, or the school years 2020 and 21 awardees. The APR is an annual report that provides performance data on the status of the funded project that corresponds to the scope and objectives established in the approved application and any approved amendments. The APR for school year 2020 and 2021 will be available from Monday, August 29th. That's coming up this next Monday until Friday, and it'll close on Friday, September 23rd. So please mark your calendars for that date. And that, again, that's for the APR for the school year 2020 and 2021. The APR for school year 2021 through 2022 will be available on Monday, October 3rd. And it will close on Friday, October 28th. They did want to specifically let you know for these APR for 2020 and 2021 that the EdFacts for that year, the previous year, 2019 and 2020, the state assessment data will not be loaded in the APR since this was not collected by states due to COVID-19. Grantees will need to navigate past this section in your APR. There will be 2 webinars. They'll both be the exact same webinars that will detail the process of completing the APRs for both years. That will become available, and once it is, we will be sure to get that out to our membership. Each entity's registered point of contact and authorized official representative should have received the entity's specific link on the open date to access each APR. For those receiving Title VI funding, if you have not received a link, please contact your authorizing official. Next, on a national level, I did want to mention about the Alice Spotted Bear and Walter Solovev Commission on Native Children. They will be having a virtual hearing, which will be held on September 16th. And let me put that registration link here. Bear with me 1 second. I'll get this on here. I'll drop the registration link in the chat for those who may be interested in joining this virtual hearing. Just as a background, the commission was established by Congress as an independent federal entity that was charged with conducting a comprehensive study of federal, state, local, and tribal programs, developing recommendations on solutions that would improve health, safety, and well-being of the Native children. The upcoming hearing will be a panel discussion providing an overview of the ICWA, an overview of improvements to the child welfare system to reduce disproportionality, data trends and implications, and prevent family preservation, including changes to 4E. The virtual hearing is designed for the commissioners to engage with panelists and their presentations. Attendees will be as a listen-in only mode. Again, the registration is there where I put in the link. You can there is also a link where you can provide public comment. I will drop those in the chat also, as well as if you missed any of the past regional or virtual hearings, there is a link in the chat that I provided where you can go back and listen to those. We encourage membership to AIEA. Your voice does make a difference in creating a positive impact in the education for our Native students. The 2022 and 2023 AIEA membership application will be available soon online on our website. It hasn't been uploaded just yet, and hopefully that will be up there within the coming week. Once it's available, we will send out a notice that that is available for you to download. Membership in AIEA supports our youth by adding value to their learning experiences through cultural awareness programs, by modeling support for our unique Indian institutions, and by creating a learning community to address needs by supporting professional development activities and/or trainings. In addition, members receive a significant discount at all of our AIEA events and activities. Membership, as a reminder, is for 1 year and it begins November 1st through October 31st. In conclusion, AIEA continues to create safe spaces for our membership to be heard. We will also continue to work with allies and partners to make meaningful and measurable change within our organization and society as a whole, in keeping with our mission to provide research and resources to Arizona schools for American Indian students to achieve academic excellence through culturally responsive education. So I just want to say thank you to our educators and Indian education stakeholders for the work that you do on a daily basis. Keep up the outstanding work and efforts that you are doing on a daily basis. Know that you are making a difference for our Native American community, and AIEA sincerely appreciates each of you. And so again, I just want to thank each of you for taking the time to be with us this morning for our general meeting. I do encourage you to keep posted to emails, our website, and social media for any updates. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at our email address, which was provided earlier. So that is all that I have for our president's report. Are there any questions? And again, this will be sent out along with the meeting minutes, so that I know that's a lot of information, but it will be provided along with some student opportunities as well. Okay, if there are no questions, then we will move on to our treasurer's report. Again, unfortunately, our treasurer is unable to be here with us this morning, but our treasurer is Travis Lane. He is the Assistant Executive Director for the Intertribal Council of Arizona and also serves as our treasurer. He did send out a bank statement to us. So let me double check to make sure these numbers are correct. We do have 2 accounts. He always provides the informational update about why ITCA, they are our current fiscal agent. So he mentions at every meeting, just for those who may not be aware, sometime back, a few years back, there were a group of parents that wanted to know how the monies were allocated. So the parents at the time needed a forum to come together to talk about the educational issues. In the 1980s, they started a formal organization with the support of the Office of Indian Education. And in 2003, AIEA became an official organization. And in 2015, there was a discussion to dissolve the AIEA, but educators decided that there was still a need. So that since that time, the Intertribal Council of Arizona has been very supportive of our organization and becoming our fiscal agent and helping us to get back on our feet, so to speak, as far as our financial status. So as I mentioned, we do have 2 accounts. One is our Desert Financial Bank account, which is what that houses our checking and savings account. Our second account is with ITCA through their budgeting efforts. They do cover us for any events or activities, as well as being our fiscal agent for that. And so I do not have the numbers exact. I can give you the numbers for last month, I believe, but I do have it specifically for our Desert Financial account. So for our checking account, the organization currently has $2,028.81. And for our savings account, we have $35,658.22. There were some transactions. Actually, that was a dividend. I don't see any transactions that have taken place since that time. The last numbers that I do have for our ITCA account is expenses was at $47,421.84. The revenue was at $18,570.37. And there was a deficit variance of $28,851.47. We do also have a Venmo account for any of our events where we do accept credit card payments. But in that account currently, it is at $0. All the money that were in that account have since been transferred since our last meeting. And so those are the 3 accounts that we have under our financial status for AIEA. Are there any questions? Okay, if there are none, then we will move on down on our agenda. So next we have our Indian education updates, and we do have some representatives here from the offices. So I am going to turn it over to Brooke to provide some updates from the Office of Indian Education at ADE. So Brooke.
Thank you, Kimberly. I'm going to share some professional learning resources and then move into some really exciting job opportunities and then end with a fellow partner that wanted me to highlight an event really quickly. So the first link I'm dropping in the chat is going to be a flyer for our upcoming professional learning symposium. This is an opportunity that's the first of its kind. It's going to be in person at the Arizona State University Tempe campus inside the Hayden Library at the the ASU Labriola Center. It's going to be one day full of a ton of professional learning. It's going to be on October 10th, and it's going to start really early in the morning and end around 3:30. So again, a full day of professional learning. It's going to be an opportunity for Arizona educators to teach and learn how to teach with Indigenous texts. So they're going to receive some resources and tools for selecting and using Indigenous texts within K-12 classrooms. It's also going to be a wonderful opportunity for educators to connect with other committed educators to serve Indigenous students within the state. And the best part about it is educators are going to walk away with free Indigenous authored books for their classrooms. So it's a wonderful, again, free event. If you have anyone interested, please feel free to click on that link that's inside the flyer and register. There's kind of a two-part registration process to this. You're going to register on the state's event management system, and then there's an additional link to apply for a travel stipend. So one of the things that we were able to discuss with our sponsors, Arizona Humanities, was getting funding for educators that serve in the more rural and remote parts of Arizona to get them travel stipends. So if that's something you're interested in, please share as far and as wide as you possibly can. This is a great opportunity. We want to make sure that as many people as we can reach as many people as we can. Okay, and then the second opportunity that we have here is our professional learning coordinator, Helen Thomas, did 3 really great summer series this summer that highlighted different social studies content. And so on that link, you can go ahead and I guess surface or research or kind of poke around her professional learning page and see what resources are on that page. Most recently, she uploaded Recognizing the Histories and Impacts of Native American Boarding Schools, which is a summer series that she did. It has the wonderful thing about the summer series is it was all recorded. So if you're interested in watching the recording of those professional learning trainings, as well as seeing the slide decks, those are all there for you guys. And then she also uploaded the second series that she did, which was Respectfully Integrating Indigenous Perspectives into Social Studies Instruction, and the slide decks as well as the Zoom recordings are on there. There's a lot of really great resources, and even if you just want to like click and comb through those slides that she has up there, there's so much content. It's ridiculous the amount of time and effort that she's put into this for that to be up on her website. So please feel free to explore that page. The second link that I just put in the chat is going to be a link to the Arizona Job Board. So OIE is actually hiring for 2 different positions right now. The first position is a program project specialist, and I'll drop the, I will drop the job number that's tied to that specific position in the chat right now. And then the second position that we are hiring for is coming through our Division of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. So it's not specifically within the Office of Indian Education, but is within our division. So we'll be working closely with them. This position is the Tribal Liaison and Policy Coordinator. So if you guys know anyone that's looking to fill these roles or anyone that you think would be perfect, please send them this opportunity. We do want to make sure we get a wonderful pool of candidates to serve our Indigenous students across the state. And then the last opportunity, sorry, I don't want to take up too much time, so trying to speed through these. Oh no, it didn't come through as a link. Okay, that's fine. I will drop it in after I'm done talking. But the last link is we met with the Heard Museum, and they're closing out their summer Saturdays, which was just a free opportunity for community members to go in and learn about whatever partnership they were going to focus on that respective Saturday. The last one that they're hosting is Molly of Denali, which is, if you guys aren't familiar, was a PBS show that was super popular in the 90s, but they're bringing Molly to Arizona, and it's just going to be a really great free interactive session for students and families. So if you guys want to make your way to the Heard Museum on Saturday, August 22nd from 10 to 4 p.m., I think it would be a really great opportunity to gather the community and learn. So those are all, and I'm dropping that link in there. Those are all the events that I have and the updates. If there are any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you, Kimberly.
Awesome. Thank you, Brooke. I actually didn't get a chance to go over and be a part of what Helen did over the summer, but for those who may not know, Helen is an excellent, provides excellent resources during the many presentations that she provides. She's so good at technology and utilizing that. It's a very interactive presentations that she does. And so if you haven't had a chance, as Brooke mentioned, to review those, I highly encourage you to do so. And she does amazing work there, as well as the whole office that has been a part there. And thank you, Brooke, for sharing those the job board, I couldn't think of what it was, but those job opportunities that are coming up and being available for those of you who may be interested in working with the Office of Indian Education and the wonderful and great staff that is currently there to continue providing the great work that they do for our Native communities. And so if there's any questions, again, you can feel free to contact Brooke. Brooke, if you don't mind just dropping your contact information in the chat box for anybody who may have questions on any of the resources that you provided here. All right, so moving on, if there are no questions. Thank you, Brooke. We do have an update for our NIEA, which is our National Indian Education Association. Normally, we do have a representative that joins us. Joaquin Preston is the representative from AIEA that usually joins us at all of our meetings, but I know they've been pretty busy and he's been unable to join us during that time. But they do have some exciting happenings that are occurring, which specifically relates to AIEA. And but I'll have to get more information about that. And we will definitely provide that to our membership in a follow-up email. But I do want to mention that their annual conference is coming up soon also. Let me put this in the chat for you. The link. This is the National Indian Education Association. Their annual conference is coming up soon, which will be held at the in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It's going to be taking place October 5th through the 8th. And if you haven't been, I encourage you at some point to attend. They provide great resources and workshops that give you valuable information for your students, your parents, and your programs. And again, this will be happening October 5th through the 8th in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I did drop the link there for more information. It has all the information about the hotel and the agenda. I believe they have a draft agenda up there so you can see what is being available. I do want to highlight that on October 5th, they are holding what they're calling an education day or educator day, and it will be held in 2 different locations. One will be held at the Oklahoma City Convention Center, and the second event will be held at the family, oh my gosh, the name just slipped my mind. First Americans Museum, the FAM. But specifically for the First Americans Museum presentation or workshop that day for educators is specifically geared for those who actually work with education in Oklahoma. But it's always interesting if you want to learn more about the tribes and what they do and providing services to their students. That would be a good one to attend. The other one is open to all of the educators across the nation that work with Native American students. And again, that will be held on October 5th. It is free if you're attending to all educators. So I encourage you, if you're able to attend the conference, I highly encourage you to be a part of that pre-event on October 5th that will be held at the Convention Center. Again, that information is up on the link that I provided underneath their convention and trade show, that information. Are there any questions in regard to any of the resources that were shared as far as our Indian education updates? All right, if there are none, then we can move on to in the agenda, which is our old business. And with that, we have our 2022-2023 scholarship. So again, I just want to mention that we did extend the scholarship application to students who are interested in applying I'm trying to get to my notes here. Again, the application is available. We did extend the deadline date to August 26th. And we haven't had a whole lot of applications that have come in. So we are providing 7 different scholarships to students. For the middle school students, the amount is $150. It is just one scholarship because we don't have a whole lot of middle school students that apply. So if you know of any 7th or 8th graders that can use some extra funding for their education, please have them complete the application for us. Excuse me. I'll look for the link. I was trying to find that before I actually got to that, but I will look for the link to send to you as far as uploading our application for your students. For our high school students, the amount is $400, and that's for all the students that are in grades 9th through 12th grade. This is for, I do want to emphasize these scholarships are for students that currently live in Arizona or attending a school or college or university within Arizona. Unfortunately, we do have some applications that we cannot accept because they either have a home address that is outside of the state, but going to school in Arizona, or we have Arizona students who are attending schools outside of Arizona. So please ensure that the students that do apply are students that currently reside and live within Arizona and are attending schools that are within the state. That's what this scholarship applies to, because we do want to encourage and help our Arizona students do well in school, and any little bit of funding I know will help out. And so for our high school students, again, there's 3 different scholarships. There is the academic scholarship, and this is for students who have a 2.0 or above and are doing exceedingly well in school. The second scholarship opportunity is our exemplary scholarship. That's if you're doing fairly good in academics, but you also excel in our part and activities or student clubs within your school. That's the second scholarship you can apply for. The third scholarship is called our Make a Difference Scholarship. This scholarship is for those students who may not make the grade, but we do know that we have outstanding Native American students that excel in other areas, such as the fine arts or athletics, community service. If they do a lot of community work within their tribal community or another tribal community or within their own community, not necessarily tribal, but they're making a difference in the volunteer work that they do. And so that's a scholarship opportunity that we provide for those students out there. So again, there's 3 different categories for our high school students, and there's the same 3 different categories for our college and graduate students. Again, that's our academics, the exemplary, and the Make a Difference scholarships. For our high school, again, it's $400. For our college and graduate students, we have increased that to $750. So again, we ask that you help us share the word about the scholarship that is out there. I will send that in a follow-up email along with the application. We do have information as far as the any questions, frequently asked questions that may arise from students that we've had in the past. And again, if there's any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Our email is available and open to those questions. So with that, are there any questions about the scholarship? Okay. And thank you, Brooke, for monitoring the chat. Appreciate that. And for your question, Melissa. Next on the agenda, we do have new business, which is our youth leadership camps. Again, I just want to emphasize that the reason why we didn't hold our summer camp was just due to the wildfire outbreaks, as well as just the safety concerns for our students and staff, because we are meeting together. We are planning for an in-person camp this year for our winter youth camp. The location is still yet to be determined. Once that is made available, we will send that out with the updated information to our membership email list. If you are not receiving any email updates from AIEA, I encourage you to email our or you can drop your email in the chat box here. We will make sure that you get on our list, or you can email us at our Gmail that was provided earlier in the meeting today. Again, this is, we do send out the updates for all of our upcoming events to our email list and encourage you to be signed up if you haven't already. So for our winter youth camp, again, our theme is braiding the elements of life. And we selected this theme based on the different seasons and the changes that have been occurring. We're focusing upon the climate change and the environmental changes that have taken place, that we're focusing upon the four main elements. So we're focusing upon the water, the land, the air, and the fire. And all those elements, braiding them together, create a foundation in order for, for a lot of our Native communities. And so this is the focus that we're going to be looking at for our winter camp. This is our third winter camp that we are holding. And again, we are holding it Friday through Monday, and this will be usually, we're hoping that it's along the winter break time for our students, because we want to try and catch them before they actually go into the winter break and the holiday seasons that happen in December. So again, this will be Friday through Monday, December 16th through the 19th. This event is open to American Indian students in grades 7 through 12 who are living within Arizona. Again, this year's theme emphasizes the way our ancestors used cultural knowledge of the surrounding environment to sustain a way of life for our people. And I will just put this quick note in there for more information. You can contact, we do have co-coordinators, which is myself and also one of my colleagues from the University of Arizona, Enrique Salt. And so her information is also listed there. If you have any questions or have any students that may be interested and would like more information, please feel free to reach out to either one of us for that. Are there any questions in regard to the winter camp? We do have a flyer. I will update the flyer with the correct dates, and I will also send that out as well. Okay, moving on with our new business, we have next on the list, which is our membership. This is I just wanted to emphasize that our membership is out and that it will be, I did request to put it updated on our website. So once we do have that up on our website, we will send a notification out about our membership application. And this is for our new application that will be coming up for 2022 into 23 academic year. I will put our website in the chat so you can have that. And I just encourage you to keep checking the application. Again, we'll soon be up online for that. With that, we do encourage you to be a part of our AIEA. We have a lot of events that are planned, and we welcome your ideas and suggestions for continuing to move forward for the benefit of all of our Arizona Native American students. We are looking at a bylaws committee. Our bylaws do need to be updated. We did have a bylaws committee years back. Katie may remember that. And we never did get an official approval of the recommendations that we did during that time. So we do have a recommendation of bylaws that our committee did many years ago, but to date we are currently working and operating off of the original bylaws that were set in place in the early 2000s. And so we do request, if you're interested in serving on this committee, to please reach out to us and let us know. With our meeting times, we do have our officers, as I mentioned, who were unable to be with us today, but we do have an officer that just according to the work schedule, I just wanted to get some feedback. And this is something for you to think about, that we can have a discussion in the larger group next month. But we are looking at changing the meeting time, if it's feasible for everybody, from instead of 11 to 1 to make it 12 to 2. So that way, if those who do have a lunch break, it will coincide with that and they won't have to take time off of work or out of their busy scheduled to attend our AIEA meetings. And so that's just something for you to think about and putting it out there to those members and those on the call today, that that's something we're considering, to moving the time to 12 to 2 o'clock for our general meeting times. And so if you have any thoughts on that, I encourage you just to share those with us. We do want feedback about changing those meeting times. With our professional development, I do encourage that if you have any topics you would like to see, we do reach out to different ones throughout the year for our professional development. We are looking back with some notes that we've had with the Office of Indian Education, that in the past they had agreed to allowing some credit, the credit units, I forget what they're actually called, but the excuse me, I believe it's CTUs. Those credit units that teachers do need, and that you will get credit for attending our professional development trainings and workshops. So next month, we will have a professional development from the office of, she is out of ASU, Arizona State University. Her office name slips my mind, but that will be coming out in the announcement for our next meeting. But we will have a professional development that will take place next month in September. And again, I just encourage, if you have any topics that you would like to see, please let us know. So that's all that I had as far as the membership. Are there any questions? Okay, if there are none, like I mentioned earlier, this meeting would be fairly short just due to not having all of our membership here, but it is an informational meeting that I am thankful for you joining us today. Next on our agenda, we have our program share outs. And so if you have any share outs that you would like to share about any events or activities that your program is offering, please feel free to do so. And just unmute yourself and share what you have. So I'll open it up for those who would like to do so.
Oh, this is Katie. It's not so much of a program update, but just letting everyone know that after COVID, our community did away with the annual fair and rodeo, but it will be going on this year. And it is always the week of Labor Day weekend. So if you happen to have some free time during Labor Day, come up. We're having a parade Saturday morning, I believe starting at 9 o'clock, right downtown White River. And if for any other reason, just to get out of the heat and come up and see the pretty wildflowers and, you know, get into the greenery, you're try and find me, look me up. I'd be happy to show you around.
Awesome. Thank you, Katie. Appreciate that. I know that there's a lot of events that are going back to in person, and the gatherings are starting to resume. So we're looking forward to having all that shared with our membership, and we can send out updates for any of those events coming up. So thank you so much for sharing. Is there anybody else? Okay, if there are none, if anything comes to mind and you would like to share with AIEA that we can send out to our membership, please do so by sending it to our email. We will definitely get that out and any of our follow-up emails following the meeting. I do want to make note that on the agenda, this was before we made the decision, but the next scheduled meeting will be held on September 9th. So again, please mark your calendars. We will meet a week earlier next month. Again, our AIE event coming up is our Winter Youth Leadership Camp that will take place December 16th through the 17th. Please share with your students or any of the students that you may know. We are looking for college mentors. So any students who are attending college that would like to be a mentor during the winter camp, please send their contact information to me as soon as possible. So, excuse me, so that way we can get in touch with them and finalize some details for the winter camp. We do seek at least 3 college students that may be interested in serving as mentors. They supervise a group of maybe 5 to 7 students at the most during the time of the camp. And they do get a stipend. And so that goes for our college mentors, our elders, and our presenters. So if you know of any presenters that focus upon the environment or climate change, I encourage you to forward their contact information to me also, as well as any elders who may be interested in providing feedback to our students for the cultural activities that will be taking place. And so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us by email or contact any of the officers according on the website that has been provided. So with that, I have no further information to share today, but I do want to say thank you very much for joining us this morning and for spending the time to share out your resources with us. We will get the information out in a follow-up email, and we look forward to seeing you next month and welcome you to join AIEA as a member. Again, the membership application will be out. So have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you in September.